Do you want to know why a lot of this stuff to a lot of people might sound like it's not true? And a lot of people might not actually believe the things I'm going to say, but it's true. And to start it off, I'll be brutally honest. Like, everything that I'm going to say in this video not only got me success, but it got every single hyper successful person millions of dollars in success, and it got me the life that I live now. And obviously, there's a lot more to it than what I'm about to speak about, but a lot of people are not willing to accept the harsh reality that in order to get rich, in order to get your dream life, you have to be selfish. You have to put yourself above everyone in the whole world. And I'll explain why here in a second, but just for a little bit, no nice person gets what they want out of life. I know all of us have heard, like, oh, nice guys finish last, all that stuff. Why do the nicest people that I've ever met in my life, and probably the nicest people that you've ever met in your life, why do they have the worst lives? Every single time, it's like something is just wrong in their life. But they're such good people, you would expect that, like, God would give them what they want, right? Because they're nice, they're following everything that they should be doing, and they're trying to do good for the world. They're good people, but then they don't get the life they want to live, and people walk all over them, and the world walks all over them. And I'll explain why that is. It's because you don't get what you want out of life from being nice. You don't get what you want out of life from letting people walk all over you. If you let people walk all over you, you let the world walk all over you. If you let the world walk all over you, you will never get anything that you want in life. The world actually gets you. And I talk about this all the time, but I'm saying not only how you perceive yourself is how the world perceives you, but how you perceive yourself is not only how others perceive you, but it's how the world perceives you. And what does that mean? If you're a nice person that goes on their life thinking, I'm going to put every single person above me, what's going to happen? You're never going to get your dream life. You're not going to get what you want out of life. You have to be selfish. And I'm not saying don't be a nice person. Yeah, be a good person. When I say nice people, I'm basically just trying to say they let people walk all over them, therefore they're going to let the world walk all over them. There's going to be things that happen in their life, and they're going to just try to go on about it being like, it's okay. And then they're always like the most like sad people. They're nice, but they're sad. And it's simply because they don't get what they want out of life. They let others get what they want out of life. This is the universe. Universe. It's your world. You have dreams. You have desires. You know what you want out of life. It was put in your head, not anyone else's, which is why you have to be selfish, which I was talking about in the beginning of the video. Imagine you were born, and at the age of 15, you got this idea and this dream inside of your head. Maybe you got it at 25, maybe you got it at 40, that you wanted to get rich, and you knew that you could get ultimately what you wanted out of life. And you listened to what your mother thought. But your mom didn't think you could get rich, right? Just like mine. My mom didn't think I was going to have this life. She believed in me, she says, but she didn't believe in what I was doing. It just means she didn't believe in me, to be brutally honest, because no one does. Your family has never seen someone become the first millionaire in their family. Your family has never seen someone get rich. Your family has never seen any sort of bit of hyper success. Maybe a little bit of success. Maybe some of y'all are from decent families. But for the most part, like me, my mother did not believe in it, and it was just me and my mom, right? And she did not think any of this was going to happen. And would I have my dream life now, and would I have this life that I live if I listened to her? If I listened to all my peers around me, every single one of my friends, and I didn't have friends that laughed at me, but like, I'm talking when I was a freshman, sophomore in high school, I couldn't talk to people like this because genuinely they didn't think it was possible either. They might have talked like, oh yeah, it is possible, but they obviously weren't on the same wavelength. So am I going to go and follow them and I'm going to listen to what they do? Or am I going to realize that this is my dream, this is my goal, and I'm going to do anything to fucking get here because it was put in my head, not theirs. You have to be selfish. You put yourself first in this life. If you don't put yourself first in this life, go. Why don't you go follow what your parents say? They don't believe in you. What happens when you don't believe in yourself? Belief is the number one thing that actually gets us what we want out of life. So don't believe in yourself and see what happens, right? Because if you're listening to your parents every single day that are telling you you're not going to be successful, what's going to happen? You're going to lose faith in yourself, and you need the highest confidence ever. I'm the most confident person on earth because, I'll get into this in a second, and I'm saying it's because of God, but I'm the most confident person on this earth because I was selfish and because my ego. I did not fail in life because I had a big ego, and that's obviously what the title of this video is about, but why you need to be selfish and why you have to have a big ego. And people always say, oh, ego, that's such a bad term. You don't want to have a big ego. You want to be humble. You want this. Be nice. Be good. All this type of stuff. But the people telling you that, they're not living a life you would want to live. If I'm living a life you want to live, I want you to listen to me, not the people around you. Okay? Think about this for a second. Why would you not have an ego When the people that are telling you not to have an ego, they're not successful. They're not rich. Every rich person I've ever talked to said, no, you should have an ego. You should be so confident in yourself, genuinely, that everyone around you believes you're delusional. I don't believe in that whole, like, oh, you have to be delusional in order to get rich, because then I feel like your mind would feel like you're actually not that person. Because in order to get rich, like, your mind generally has to believe that you are the person worthy enough of getting rich. But imagine this, for example. Your mom is telling you, don't have an ego, be humble, son. But she's not successful. She never did anything in her life. And that's not to shit on anyone. Like, I'm not trying to, like, say I'm better than anyone in this sort of position. Obviously, yeah, I sacrificed every single thing in my life. I dropped out of high school. I did everything. I tried every business model. I did everything. I sacrificed my whole entire career. Imagine if I did not make it where I would be after dropping out of high school. What made me so screwed up in my head to the point where I was like, I'm gonna drop out and get rich? What was it? That's how much confidence I had, because my ego was not going to let me fail. Hudson Cosper was not going to be the type of person that was going to be someone that people look at saying he failed. He told us, he talked all this talk and didn't do it. I was not going to let that happen, ever, because I had an ego. My ego held me accountable. My ego stopped me from procrastinating, and my ego made me the person that I am today. Simply because I looked at myself and I was like, who does Hudson Cosper want to be at 16 years old? And I listed everything. I wrote down every single thing that I wanted to be when I was younger, that I saw myself being when I was 20 to 21 years old, because that was always my goal. Oh, become a 20-year-old millionaire, 21-year-old millionaire, 21-year-old with a Lamborghini. All these goals that I have now, that's what I once wrote down when I was 16 years old. And I was like, that person right there, how would he act? He would have the most confidence in himself. He would have the biggest ego ever because he accomplished everything. And I was like, I'm going to become that person of myself, because I knew the version of myself that was successful already existed. I knew I was already rich somewhere, because I had the idea in my head. So it did already exist. If you believe in God, then everything already exists. The rich version of you, the homeless version of you, all that sort of stuff. But my ego was so high to the point where I was not going to let myself fail. I was going to do everything in my power not to listen to the people around me, to only listen to the fucked up ideas that were inside of my head. And when I say fucked up, I mean fucked up thinking that I'm going to make millions of dollars at 20 years old, because the average person doesn't believe that. 99% of people on this world do not believe that. So I was fucked up in the head at 16. I knew I was going to get rich. I dropped out of high school a year later because of that. I was like, you know what? Let's go all in. Let's test the waters. I knew how successful I could get. I knew it was going to be the result of it, because my ego was so high. I never thought there was one chance of failing, therefore I could not fail. If you believe there's a little possibility of failing inside of your head, you're going to fail. Maybe you won't fail if you believe you can fail, but it's ruining your chances of actually getting rich and becoming successful if you believe you can fail. And my ego was so high, I wasn't going to let it happen. So that's why you have to have an ego. You have to believe you are the man. You have to believe, or let's say you're a woman watching this, you have to believe you're the woman, you're the man, you are the best, but better than others. Better than others. I saw someone that was successful when they were 20. Let's say when I was 16 and I saw a 20-year-old in a Lamborghini. I never took photos of it. I never was shocked or surprised. You know what I said? Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna look a whole lot better in it. Every time it was always my ego, my ego, my ego. And by the way, the word ego literally means your subconscious intervening with your conscious mind to figure out who you are. It's your identity. And I feel like that's what a lot of people lack nowadays. They don't have an identity. They don't know who they are. I know who I was. And I knew I was going to be the type of person that was actually going to get successful and actually get rich. Because that's how strong of an ego I had, to the point where I knew myself. Even when I wasn't a millionaire, even when I didn't have any of the things that I have now, this cool lifestyle, I knew that I was going to have it, and I knew that it existed somewhere. That was my identity. And if people lack identity, they don't know what they want out of life. They're nice people, good people, and that's why I said they don't get what they want out of life. Because let's say they want something out of life, they're going to put someone above themselves. Is that going to get you successful? Or is being selfish? Well, at the end of the day, it's not even being selfish, because what is more selfish? Is being selfish not getting what you want out of life and then not being able to provide for your family and the people around you that you love? I think what I did wasn't selfish, matter of fact. Because think about it. Okay, I sacrificed not talking to family. I sacrificed not listening to family to the point where we would argue every single day of my life. But what's the result of it now? Now I can wire my mother $5,000 whenever I want to and help her out and help her pay off all these things. So in the end, what was more selfish? I sacrificed maybe a couple of years, but you have to be selfish. This is your life. You need to know what you want. You need to know the type of person you are to get what you want, you have to have the highest ego of yourself. And confidence is God-given. I would not have this confidence if it wasn't for God. I knew God made me for a higher purpose to actually get things out of life. Therefore, how could I fail when I have God? That boosts my ego. Simple as that. It boosts my ego that I know God is right by my side and he's not going to let me fail. If he put these dreams and desires inside of my head, he's not going to let me fail. So if I'm doing work on a day-to-day basis and I know exactly where it's going to take me and I know exactly the type of person that I was going to be when I was 16 in 4 years, now where I'm 20, how could I have failed? I had the strongest ego ever. I had the highest confidence ever. I was the most selfish person ever. And now look. Now I'm not the most selfish either. I give people money all the time. I help people all the time. I help my mother all the time. I inspire people online. Would I be able to inspire you watching this video if I didn't do all of that? If I didn't have the highest ego? If I wasn't selfish? No. Be selfish. This is your life. You have to put yourself above anyone, because putting others above you is not going to do anything. If you let other people walk all over you, you're going to let the world walk all over you. You're going to get a dream in your head and you're not going to chase it. Simple as that. You're going to have all these good things in your head of you being successful and you being rich, and you're going to sit here and not act upon it because of the people around you telling you what they think that you should do, but they're not the successful ones. That doesn't make sense. And that's what this whole video was about. Basically, I just wanted to say that you need to have an ego, and it's not a bad thing. You need to figure out, because your ego will tell you who you are as a person. Do you want to be rich? Or do you want to be the person that lets everyone dictate your life? You dictate your life or the other people around you? Okay. Go on and let the other people in your life dictate your life. See where that leads you. It's going to lead you in a cubicle, working 9 to 5, coming home to either not a wife, maybe your wife that you'll argue every day about bills and stuff. If you're young, even if you're not young watching this video, it doesn't matter. You can get what you want out of life no matter the time, but you have to wake up first in your head and realize everything that I'm telling you. But if you're young, chase your dreams because you have time. You don't want to get stuck. You will get stuck from listening to others. You should only be listening to your mind, because your mind is the blueprint of success. Everything was put here for a reason. So every day when I wake up and it tells me, Hudson, work for 2 hours, do this, do that, I have to do this. Who is that? Why the fuck did that thought just come up inside of my head? No, it's a blueprint saying you will get rewarded if you do these things that I'm telling you. And then I did them all. And sometimes I had negative thoughts when I was younger. You want to know why? Because I would listen to the people around me. I would listen to my mom. Oh, maybe I can't get rich. I would listen to some of my friends. No, let's go party. Let's go do this. You either be a leader or you're a follower. You know what leaders are? They're selfish. They're egotistical. They're so fucked up in the head that they believe that they are obviously going to have power over everyone and win at the end of the day. Look at any leader in all of history. They had an ego. They were selfish. They put themselves and their country above everyone. So are you going to do the same for your life? Because what happens if a country starts putting other countries above them? What happens? Nation falls. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you either let yourself fall or you win. You either have the highest ego and you know who you are as a person, you're going to do every single thing to get there, or you let the other people around you stop you from doing that. But you have the dream and desire for a reason. So it's your life, it's the universe, universe. Listen to yourself, be selfish, sacrifice everything, and you will get a life of genuine bliss.